Episode 119 over here, and I've got my Halloween mask on, Tony, because I'm feeling very sorry for all those Korean bastards that got crushed to death having a good time in costumes. So to all our South Korean viewers, bloody hell, what a way to go. Just think how lucky we are to be involved in Put a Line Through It, where we can actually focus on something that's positive, and that's horse racing. So it's absolutely amazing. I'm not being a smart ass, but I'm just so lucky that I'm with three of my best mates, and we're talking about it, the race that stops the nation on Tuesday. So I welcome the great man himself, the man who doesn't really interact on the page, Tone, the Enigma.
Oh, yes, mate, already ready, all excited, like a little boy on Christmas morning. He's gunning to get those Christmas presents open. And, yes, all set, ready to go. Massive day.
And talking about a fellow Peaky Blinder, here he is, the great man, the Greek freak, the tweak, the chocky wheel specialist, the man who can go to Adelaide and can call his cousins in and do a concrete job and know which ones get spun up, like Morty. G'day, Tassie. Welcome, mate.
Morty was good. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to see you, gentlemen.
It's nearly Morty for you, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'll probably end up, once we finish up here, I'll probably just get dressed, have a shower, get dressed and go to work. But look, it's fantastic to be here. It's an exciting time of the year. I remember this time last year, we only had half the amount of subscribers or followers that we have now. So well done to the team for building and keeping them. And I'm sure that this year we won't put a line through the winner like we did Very Elegant last year.
Yeah, we should admit to our new followers that they're familiar in PaLTI, put a line through it. We did put a line through the great mare, and that's Marto's. Like he wanted to retire last season. He didn't want to go to Europe chasing glory or gold. And we put a line through the greatest mare that we've probably ever seen, apart from Mackay, of course. But Very elegant. She did win over a lot of distances, didn't she? She did dominate from about 1400 to 32. So, Jesus.
Well, it was only 32. So, in our defence, she hadn't run over 32. We thought she'd hit her ceiling at the 2400. But hindsight, her run in the Caulfield Cup last year set her right up for that Cup run.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't a strong field, so she had every right to win it, for sure.
Yeah, she brained him.
We didn't pick it.
We just want to shout out, Tone. Oh, sorry. What's that, mate?
But that was then. This is now.
Yeah. Unfortunately for punters, Tone, they only remember the last tip. And I think Pez's was pretty good tonight in Hong Kong.
Oh, was it? You got a winner?
Yeah, I got a winner. We got out of jail in last. A third place had paid about $3, Tone. But anyway, just remember to all our new followers, we've got lots happening. We've got Monday night footy, of course. We've got Tuesday, the Treasures over in the UK. Pez's Pickers on Wednesday. That's a forgettable day. Thursday night, we put the YouTube show out. Friday night, the Chocky Wheel goes up for Adelaide races. Saturday's the big day because the magical man, the great man himself, Marto, is absolutely on fire. And Sunday we have a look at Honkers as well. Now, Marto, can I just mention your last 4 tips on Put a Line Through It? You've had 3 winners and a third. And last week, a star was born.
A star was born, the Star of India.
Geez, you got some love too. Got some love.
Yes. Old schoolmate Quentin Bago. I know he's watching, so good on you, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good on you,
Quentin. Pub of beer.
Yeah. You tipped it at around 12 skins, and it got pumped into 7, jumps back out to 950. So even if you waited on the day, your SP was 10 skins. So well found, mate. Beautiful.
Price, isn't it?
I was just telling the boys, do you read French, do you, Marto? Because you were looking at the French form, obviously.
I have a look at it when they come out from Europe, and we have a look at what they've done over there and how that kind of lines up here to the conditions and how they're going to run left or right-handed. Yeah, so it is a bit of a process to break it down, but obviously it works.
Yeah, a lot of people. I should mention this. A lot of people think Taz is in Greek, that he's actually French, and they don't think that Tone's from Tassie. They think he's French as well. because they're very well mastered in the art of love.
And where's your seeing eye dog?
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about love is the amount of love that I get.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not love, it's lust.
Oh,
it's lust. There's a bit of a difference.
Yeah,
people don't want me for a long time; they just want me for a good time.
For Tone, it's sort of like that sort of raunchy movie in the mid '80s. The Porky's with the wolf.
I would have gone back a bit.
Why do they call him? Because he's an animal. He's an animal. He's a great man. But anyway, Pezza, how about the Pakenham synthetic form, Marto? Jeez, I shut everyone up.
How did you find that?
Hey?
Yeah. How did you find that?
Classic.
Pakenham synthetic form. Fucking hell.
Pakenham synthetic.
And it was shocking time. But Taz, when I saw Say Magic, that's what I'm thinking about Marto of his French skills. Say Magic was sort of leading up to its grand final, like last week was its grand final, whereas all the rest, like Cool and Gutter, and maybe even Jacquino, which was stiff. Jacquino was stiff over the last 150, couldn't get a run in. But they'd sort of been, extending their seasons by 2 weeks. So I just thought, on an odd chance, we might be thumping home, and we're going to cut the kegs off the Jacquino. We might be in front of it. We're going to go right, and 11.50 the place, bang, bang.
No,
the boys,
it was huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
The captain gets on at 90 skins for the Quinoa with the favourite.
Well, in secret.
Best in Flemington the other day was In Secret.
In Secret was amazing.
Yeah.
That was the number one. That was the number one rated race of the day, I think, Marto.
Derby, yes.
Yeah, it was beautiful. They ran off the charts. So
yes.
In Secret looks a bit above and beyond. But so well done. We'll move on to the Melbourne Cup because that's what we're here about today. It's all about the Melbourne Cup. This is it, isn't it? This is it, boys, isn't it? This is like the grand final. Derby Day's preliminary final weekend. Sydney at Steel and everything.
Like Cone said, this is Christmas for all the punters out there, mate.
This is Christmas, mate, because it doesn't matter about the shit they are racing around it. But except in Sydney, we're really good at marketing and getting people to the track. But the big dance and the little dance, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what a race, boys. Tassie, you must have a memory.
I have got a memory, and I can go back to Kiwi with good old Jimmy Cassidy. I can go to Black Knight in '84.
Oh, Black Knight was my first Melbourne Cup winner.
I mean, I actually worked at the races the year Saintly won the Melbourne Cup.
Wow.
And it was beautiful. I wanted to go to the races, and I thought, how do I get paid and go? So I got a little job as a dishwasher on the day.
Wow.
Let me assure you of one thing.
All right.
I didn't wash a single dish. And I still got paid.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the mighty Saintly won it. So, yeah, I've got plenty of good memories. I mean, I even, what a nuisance, I was there for that. Yep. I backed Tripsicum with Heffernan on it. I think it was back in 1986. Cairo Corey May ran second and Butternut ran fourth.
Tone, I'm now regretting my decision to go to Taz about a memory.
That's all. That's okay. Well, it's still there. But anyway.
Yeah, regretting my decision a lot. But
okay.
Yeah, Black Knight. My old man still owes me $27.75 for a $1 each way on Black Knight. He still owes me $27. He kept it. He said that's a life lesson. Never trust someone to put a bet on for you if you can't afford it yourself. Thanks, Dad. I was only 10 years old at the time. Thanks. Tone, you got any memories quickly?
74, 75. Think big, drew it in the sweep, got me money put on. Then I had a little bit of a read in the old pink paper, the Globe, a little bit of a story about Kiwi, jumped on, just swam home, and Vanderham when it wouldn't stop raining forever.
Yes.
So yeah, they're my four big.
And what was it like? What was it like, Tone, to see the big-hearted, big chestnut run around, big far lap? How was that?
Yeah, well, I have been to the museum and seen it on
what do you mean?
Pezza. You've got it wrong.
Oh,
you can't ask Tone what it was like. Okay, ask him what it was like to actually lead far lap, because that's what he used to do. Tone was strapping far lap. I mean, we watch all the shows and stuff.
Tony Woodcock.
Yes.
And Tone, of course, you walked with Archer a couple of Ks
absolutely.
coming from Sydney to Melbourne for the first and second. No, good on you, mate. Marto, big day. Here we go. Let's get into it. Enough bullshit. Now, a bit fancy this year, boys. Have a look at this. Gold Trip, number 1. What do we reckon? Tone, you keen?
Keen, yes, like Gold Trip.
Go on, tell us about it.
I think got Zara's on it. It's got pretty good form leading into the race. It wasn't caught. This isn't my fucking horse. Your turn. Carry on.
I'm pretty sure you.
Come on, Pat.
Oh,
No, look, all I can say. Look, do you want me going? Look, I'll tell you what.
I just thought that I spoke for about 38 minutes, so everyone's sick of listening to me because I know I'm going to tip it. I know I'm going to talk about it, but I wanted someone else that tipped it as well, Tony, to say something about it that lead me back into it. That's what I wanted, mate.
All right, yeah. Well, I like Zara on it. It was a good run in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, second behind.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a big chance. What do you think, Pezza? Take it away.
I thought it was pretty good in the Caulfield Cup. It was unlucky to be nabbed on the post by the dirty Waller horse coming down the outside with a Mickey D in the saddle. But I loved its run on the Cox Plate, and it's pretty rare. It's not often you come from the Cox Plate into the Melbourne Cup, but it does happen. So I thought, if you look at the last 200 in the Cox Plate, it was steaming home, coming from the inside. It was looking for a run, ducks to the inside, and then gets held up because there's a couple of slower horses in front of it. Stands up in the saddle, stands up in the irons, 150 go. No. It was never going to beat Animo. I wasn't going to say it was, but that's over 2040. This thing, I think, is ready to go. And if it's a wet track, bingity, bangity, boom. Don't you worry. I know it's not often that the ones win, but I reckon, I'm not sure about Zara. I wish it wasn't Zara myself, but
jockey.
Pezza, I just want to say one thing.
Form at the moment.
Pezza, just to keep it simple, you guys are just piggybacking me. That's all. I was the one that declared gold tip the Caulfield Cup winner.
I know.
Got nabbed.
Yep.
So
and that's how good it is.
I'm ahead of the form. I'm ahead of the form.
That's how I really respected it, because you poisoned it, and then the Cox Plate it was huge. So we've only beaten 3 lengths by Animo, and that's probably our best 2,000 metre horse, our champ. So
do we see it? Is it in, or is it? Can it win?
It can win. We're putting a line around it. We're putting a circle around it. Gold Trip, especially if it's wet, Marto, get in the queue. Now we move on to the Australian Cup winner in Joie. Marto, a little bit French sounding. What do we think?
I think she's a chance, to be honest. I know you read the notes, and look, her 3,200 fields. The Australia Cup field. She's won the Tancred Stakes. They're not overly strong races, but she did enough to win them. Look, if the track's a soft 5, I'd be all over the $21. If it gets to the soft 7, you'd have to be a little bit dubious about taking her on.
Right.
Backing her in.
Taz?
I think that she's been improving with racing, but is she going as well as when she won the Australia Cup? I don't know. Is this her long-range target? I don't know. Can she win? I say no.
Yeah. I'm going to look at the numerology side and do a Taz. I like it coming out of barrier 10. I like the double 8s. It means money, but got one of the worst jockeys in Australia on it, and that puts me right off.
I think Hugh's riding really well, actually.
Yeah,
He's riding well this spring.
I don't mind him.
I like him. I would not let him ride my cousin's daughter's bloody rocking horse.
I would have a bigger bet if Hugh Bowman was.
Would you let me though, Tone?
Than Mark Zara.
Really?
I would have a way bigger bet if Hugh Bowman was on Gold Trip.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
So
I want to know if Tone would let me ride his cousin's, niece's, daughter's rocking horse or whatever it is. Tone, could I get on it?
Well,
I'll be top weight
with the weight, mate. It's the chocolate, But
number 3, Knight's Order, drawing the car park, drawing the visitors barrier out in 24. But 24 is not a bad barrier. We have had a handful of winners from Barrier 24. Of course, Barrier 18 is the bad number, but Very Elegant franked Barrier 18. Barrier 18 had never had a winner. So don't be put off by 24 because Knight's Order is going to steam across and try to lead.
The 2019 winner, what gate did he come out of? 24.
You're talking Brew.
Bow and Declare, 2019.
Oh, 29. Oh, sorry. But I think Brew came out of 24 as well, didn't it?
You might actually be right. He was drawn out. I'm not sure which number.
I think it was number 24, Drew Barry 24 as well. But Knight's Order, it's going to use up too much energy getting across, I think. It's going to want to lead, but I don't know if it's going to find it easy to lead. But it did it in the Sydney Cup, didn't it? On a rain affected.
It's got the best hands in the business. You got Timmy Clark in the saddle, who's if he does get an easy lead, I tell you what, she's going to be tough at the end because the bot fly.
It's hard to go past, isn't it?
Yeah, they're hard to get past those Waterhouse bot trained leaders. Timmy Clark breaks it in front, but you never know, he might butcher it. So you never know. But we're a bit confused here, ladies and gentlemen. We're putting a line and a circle around it. And let's move on to Montefilia. Now, who cannot, she was unmissable in the Caulfield Cup. Absolutely screamed home to get over it was, 2 lengths behind him, but geez, if it was going another 100 metres, who's the winner was. Oops, I'm getting a bit gun shy with the stuff.
I really like Montefilia. I thought the Caulfield Cup run was a perfect lead-in.
Yes.
For this race. The only problem that I have with Montefilia is that it's got the Colette curse, and I can never.
Yes, I'm with you, Tassie. I wouldn't back it.
Whether it's J, whether it's S, that's the only reason. But I think this horse, if I'm right, it was placed in an Oaks as well a couple of years back. I don't think it's going to have a problem with the distance, but geez, how do I catch Colette?
Yeah, that's my theory too. But see, Montefilia's run in the Caulfield Cup is almost identical to Very Elegance in the Caulfield Cup last year, who then went on to win the Melbourne.
There you go.
To see the distance out, but how do you back it with Jason Collador?
I like Collins as jock. I don't know what you guys are mental.
No, I'm not saying I don't like him.
You've changed your tune. You were bagging him before.
I
know. I don't
Jason
dislike him. I can't find him. I can't catch him. I don't dislike him. I just cannot catch him.
Right.
Yeah, he's kind of that inconsistent type jockey, isn't he?
Yeah.
He puts a good one in a bad one.
We're putting a circle around its own because I think 3 out of the 4 of us think it might be a chance. Numerian, Tommy Benny for Annabelle Neesham. It's I think it's an import. Is that right, Mutto?
Is an import.
It is originally an import.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been here a year. I think it was here last year.
Yes.
Look, it's another one that's going to want to get out in the pace and probably lead. And you know how we were talking about Knight's Order? Well, this is the other one. I think Grand Promenade and it are going to probably, because you got Promenade drawing the fence, you got this drawing the 7, you got the other one 24. It could be a charge to the first to the winning post first time round.
It's Caulfield Cup
run.
Oh, Tommy Berry. Well, yeah. I mean, he's on a horse that, if it gets butchered, you're not going to lose money out of your pocket because you're not going to back it. Like I think it had good form in what was it, the Q22, Marto, and then it in the G2 Hill Stakes, I think it ran second.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't know where it gets the distance. That's the thing. But I don't think it gets the distance.
Okay,
I think the distance out, but I really think he wants a heavy 8 to be in any calculations.
We're putting a line through it anyway. Here we go. This is the first invader, I think. It's drawn out in 18, as I said. It never won the Melbourne Cup ever before, Very Elegant last year. So there's only been one winner ever from Barrier 18. So if you're thinking about barriers and you've got a bit of a thing about them in the Melbourne Cup, there is a lot of data on it. Put a line through number 6 without a fight because it's going to be another 200 odd years before another one wins from it. So Buick's on. Who knows? The UK, we need some UK form from the great man himself, Marto, of course, Tone, and even Taz has a bit of a hobby in the UK.
It's a 6-year-old. He's carrying 55.5 kilos, which is not bad for a 6-year-old coming out of Europe. 2 strong wins at York over the 2,800, so the 3,200 is not going to be a problem. I think he is ready for the 3,200. He's definitely earned a place in this field. Does get William Buick on, which I'm kind of sick to the stomach that this bastard's riding in the cup after last weekend. He should be serving his suspension. Get him off, put J-Mac on this thing, and this thing's probably going to win. I do have a query about, again, how wet the track's going to be. If we're up around the soft 5 to soft 6 range, and this one's going to be right in the finish. If it's any heavier, then I don't think.
Tone?
Yep. Well,
Tone, I think a little birdie tells me you like this one. Little birdie, I heard.
It's well in this. Last time it won, it was carrying like 62.5 kilos, and it's getting a 7 kilos taken off its back in this. It's 1 over 27.87, so I don't really think there'll be a problem getting the distance. And it's been placed 14 times out of 17 career starts. And it comes out of the Crisford stable at Newmarket in the UK, and he's got some pretty good horses. But I'm with Mardo there. I would take Buick off it. If you could have a proper jockey on it, I would bring across. Was it Andre Adzini from the UK and pop him on it because he's ridden it before.
He has.
So Buick hasn't rode it. Is that right?
No, he hasn't.
Buick has never rode it.
No, he's rode it before.
He's rode it over there.
No, Buick has not ridden this horse before.
Oh, it hasn't.
He has or he hasn't.
William Buick has not ridden this horse before.
Oh, wow.
I've made a mistake.
The only thing I'll say about Buick is this is perfect pocket money for him, Tone. This thing wins. Buick goes on his holiday. Perfect. Yes. Pocket money to spend. Can I just say something with this horse that I noticed that I thought was really, really interesting? It ran second, and then 2 days later was on a plane out to Australia.
That's right.
Yeah,
so that run. So what that run was, it was perfectly timed to get that run under its belt
before
and to get here. So it's not often that you hear of a horse having had a run a day or two or even a week before they get on a plane. So that's just something really interesting.
Yep. And I wouldn't want to put my bloody horse on a plane 2 days after it's had a 2-mile run either. But anyway, that's what they do. Good luck. So I'm not exactly sure, but we think it's a chance. Tone's pretty keen.
I think if it's going to be a good 4, this would be probably equal favourite.
I don't mind Benny and JD, the brothers, the Hayes. I love David over in Honkers, of course. Big bad boy Benny Mellon, the elephant in the room, talking about an Airbnb. Can't ride a winner to save himself. Put a line through this horse just because of Jock. Jockey is in love. He's lost it. He can't ride a winner because he's in love. And he's got Jamie Carr to thank for that. So thanks, Jamie, for screwing all of our lives up because big boy bad Benny Mellon was on fire last spring.
Pezza, this horse here can bounce back after a 21-length beating. Don't worry about that. 21 lengths it was beaten last start.
Yeah.
Put a line through it. Done.
No.
Well, I think the Curragh Cup, as we know, Mardo, Vintage Crop was the first one to win the Curragh Cup, and then it won the York Cup, and then it comes over here and it won a Melbourne Cup. Was the first invader to win. Back in the 90s, there was Dermot Well.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you're right. So it's come through that traditional sort of line. They come through when they
proven form.
Yeah,
the line races.
It is. Yeah,
very interesting runner.
Tone.
Yeah, I don't think it can win. Yeah,
perfect.
Benny's riding that badly.
And then we've got the favourite. It's now into $3.60. It's been crunched by the good judges, Mardo. They reckon it's rated this at about 10 to 1, but we're getting half the odds because it's got that 3-year-old, 4-year-old European Australian form. Because it's a 3-year-old over there and it's a 4-year-old here.
We used to whack 51 kilos on the 3-year-olds coming over from Europe. Now we're putting 55 kilos on because they've been found out with the handicappers. I don't know why people are throwing money at this thing. This thing is a dry track horse only. They have avoided wet tracks like the plague. How is it going to win on a wet track?
Interesting.
So, Marto, you're saying it can't win.
I'm saying this cannot win. This is
There
one
you
Melbourne
go.
favourite that won't win.
There you go, familiar. You know what to do.
There you go. You know what to do. Wait for the drift. You'll get a drift here, guaranteed, because it does like to sweat up in the mounting yard and stuff like that. So watch it sweat up, watch it play up, watch it get a drift. Watch Marto say can't win, and then bang, it wins.
Yep.
One of the most winning barriers for the Melbourne Cup is barrier 9.
Yep.
But he is a get-back horse, and I just don't think he picks up enough to get over that heavy ground, or even the soft ground. They, like I said, they avoided like the plague over in the UK, and I don't think they like it.
Excuse me. Do you know who it beat its last start?
Yeah.
Or a couple of starts back? Yeah, something that ran in the Cox Plate.
Was it starts with an S?
No. That comes second in the Cox Plate, isn't it?
Yep, El Bogdan or whatever it's called.
Bodigan or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's it. It put it away. So, well, I don't know.
Tone, you're the UK expert, mate. The Tone's treasures. You're the one who finds us all the winners over there.
I wouldn't say I'm the expert. It's won over 26-15. I don't know whether, I suppose you're looking at it, it probably deserves the favourite sticker. But, the 10-week break is a concern for me. And a new trainer, racing in Australia is very different to the UK. It did won the, what's that race? The Great Voltigeur. It's a Group 2 race.
Yes, that's right.
Back in August, Namato won that.
Did.
So it's well in on the weights, but I don't know. I don't like backing favourites in the Melbourne Cup, and I just
Marto, why has he got a new trainer?
I don't know. Why has he got a new trainer?
I don't know. Tone reckons.
No idea. No idea.
I don't know. Maybe the ownership group had a disagreement, and the old trainer didn't want to send it out for the reason that we're having this weather we're having.
Right.
I really don't know that one. I'm just guessing, but I just don't think it can win with a rain-affected track.
Perfect. So we're going to put a line through it, and we're going to circle it because we're 50-50.
Yeah.
We can't decide.
Stockman, of course, some huge run last week over the 2000. Cherry Wright run the 32. Joey Pride absolutely on fire. The stable, one of the best stables going around at the moment. And if you're going to get an honest old grinder, this is it, because she'll be coming home, and it's going to beat probably half the field home, even though it's a plugger. But that's got a bit of a turn of foot. You never know.
It was one of your lovely picks
push
as well.
Pez's push.
Was a Pez's push
3 weeks ago.
My only concern with this, because I think when they're slowing down, it's still going to be coming, is that it's drawn barrier 2. And in a field of 24, it's going to probably need a bit of luck, because I don't see him really holding up and then trying to get to the outside. So it's just with the mud and the slow ones getting in front of it. It's how Clipperton steers it.
I don't know. I think in the back half of the field, to be honest, I think Clipperton will ride him in the back half of the field and just let him bowl along cold out the back. Then
will he get clear running? Or do you reckon he'll go out wide?
I do think so.
You reckon he's going to pull him out wide, about 15 wide or something?
Well, might have to. But he'll start picking them up after the bend. I don't know if he does enough to get to the front, but that's where he'll do it.
Here we go. We've got number 10, Tone, Vow and Declare. Marto declared this about 3 months out from the Melbourne Cup.
Yes.
And Barney got on at around 50s, and I think Marto got on at 50s, and I was on that Il Paradiso that was absolutely slaughtered in the last 50, and we actually pushed yours across the line. I still remember that. And Vow and Declare in form. Craig has opted off. What do we think?
Craig didn't opt off. Danny O'Brien kicked him off and said, Blake Shin. You've had your chance. You haven't brought him up. I'm going to put Blake Shin on and see how it goes. Blake
Shin's on fire, mate.
Absolutely loves this thing. I mean, that run in the Caulfield Cup where they sat and sprint home, he said it obviously wasn't suited to it. He said, but Vow and Declare is now screaming out for the 3,200 metres, and he's not too worried about the rain affecting the track. And I like his action actually, because when he goes forward and runs, he's digging those hoops into the ground, into the turf, and pushing everything behind. So he's not going to be too affected by that wet track with his gallop in action. And like I said, Blake Shin's in love with this horse already.
Yeah, it's great to see Blake.
I think you are too.
I certainly am. I
think you are too. I think you're living in the memory of. I think you're living in the memory of 50-1. I think this horse is going to be. I think this horse is going to be another surprise baby. Where except that it won a Melbourne Cup. It's come back. They've brought it back. It's a gunner. But I don't think it's going to do it. But Marto, I hope that you get on, and I hope it wins. And when it does win, and I've said that it can't, you can absolutely lay into me.
Well, I have to back Marto up here because I do like it because they've taken Williams got the arse. He shouldn't even be on this horse. They've put on a decent jockey. It's only carrying 54 kilos, but it's going to need a bit of luck. But I think it's a chance. Definitely, I'll put it in the exotics to run a place. But
Pezza, what do you think?
I could be completely wrong.
Oh, mate, I'm like you. I hate this horse and should never have won the 2019. It got pushed over the line because of the Il Paradiso and getting crunched in by the prick on the outside, and we pushed Craig over. So, no, it's a dog. It's horrible. Like, probably the worst Melbourne Cup winner in the history of the Melbourne Cup.
The Tory champion.
But Marto, well done, mate. Barney, well done. Young Werther, not keen at all. Think it's no chance.
I don't think.
I hate to say it, but I really do think it is a chance. I think it's a knockout chance. I think that if you want to back something for the place, where it'll probably get $15 to $20 the place, I reckon this is the one. Last year, I mean, this thing was placed in a derby for starters. Then, after last year's preparation, they put it away. They've put it away, given it a really long spell, and they've brought it back specifically for these staying races. And I think that this is O'Brien's best chance. I don't think it's bound to Clare.
Right.
That's what I think.
I do like the jockey.
Oh, you have to.
That's
I think it's a fair engagement, but I don't know. Yes, it's a natural stayer after that Derby run, but it's 3,200 too far.
I don't think so. That again, I don't think so. But what would I know? I'm just a two bob. I don't know, whatever you want to call me on PaLTI. So, but I like this horse as a real good knockout chance.
Big jump from 2,000 to 3,200, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
That's the worry for me. But I mean, it's a smoky in a field that it is a bit of a smoky. It's going to
get out the back.
Well, it ran.
The worry for me is it's horrible. It's running like me. Yeah. Like you've got to have a little bit of form coming into it. You've got to be showing a little bit.
Well, it was placed in the Turnbull and the Cox Plate, wasn't it?
We ran third in the Derby. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it would be a smoky.
You never know.
Put a line through it. That's all. Put a line through it.
Craig's on the Waterhouse Plate. The new one, the Hoo-Ya Ma. What a name. This is a great name. I don't care about King Tong. This is a great name. Hoo-Ya Ma. What does it mean? I have no idea. I should have Googled it. I should have asked Google Sensei.
I think it means, I think it's someone was pissed and they were, getting into a blue or something. And they were saying, I wanted to say, who's your mother? But they couldn't get the words out. Hoo-Ya Ma?
Yeah, and the only thing going against this Marto is the track. If it's a heavy or a wet softish track, it just doesn't run.
I don't know. Again, query how wet. It has one on a soft track and it's placed on a heavy, but it's done most of its running on a good track. But look, it was runner-up in a Derby race in June. If you go a few starts back there, it was 150 to 1 and run. It was a close second actually behind Desert Crown. Desert Crown has since gone on and been in tremendous form. Who won 2.5 lengths over Perfect Alibi over 2,800. So, I mean, the runs are on the board. Willow's won from a wide gate in this cup with Power and Declare. I'm going to bring it up again.
Craig's on fire.
And this one was actually right on the shoulder of the cup favourite, Deauville Legend.
Yes.
Second.
Tone, how good was Marto's favourite horse on Saturday in Ice Bath?
Oh,
We
Bardo.
finally won a Group 1 and we got off.
Why would you on?
Craig Williams was the only man to win on the rail for the whole day. It was just an amazing ride. And I don't know how he won because no one had come there. Everyone stuck away from the rail and Craig goes straight to it. And too strong, too tough.
Craig's riding, he's riding extremely well. And, you know, I don't know how often he rides for the Waterhouse bot combination, but I like this. I think that if you're taking the favourite, if you are, then you've got to take it with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better price.
I can't rule this one out. I think this one's a chance.
Okay, we move on. Here we go. Serpentine, put a line for it. I love Hickmont because he trains for Lloyd and we love the blue with the white bands and usually he wins. Like, you know, who would have thought that Twilight Payment would have won at 25-1 in 2020 and it did. And he's always got a couple in it. He always focuses on it, but I think Serpentine's going horrible.
Yeah, I'd had a good run last week.
Good
on
run,
Saturday, ran a nice second, but not for Melbourne Cup. Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Can't win. Boys, we're on Daquan Sweet Junior now. This is Tone's favourite horse that wins the Adelaide Cup. Goes up and runs pretty well in the Sydney Cup as well. And, of course, Jamie's chosen another, and Daniel Moore jumps on for Stokesy at around 31 skins. Tone?
Do you want to talk us through this one? Because you were telling us it was going to do something special.
Well, I've gone off it since. I've gone off it. I thought it was going to be something special this spring, but it hasn't really been. Like, yes, it did win the Adelaide Cup, but it's coming off a 31-day break, and it's recent form. I don't think it's ready for this. I just don't think it's there, guys. No, I've gone right off it, and I'll probably prove me wrong.
Last week, Tony, you tipped it on the show. I did. Yeah, and I've changed now. No. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to rule it out after that last run. That wasn't Jamie Carter, but that was the horse just not good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to run out of time. Let's get back to this race. Here we go, guys. We had a little bit of an intermission, of course, because we ran out of time because basically, you know, we're too much information at PaLTI. Too much, some might say. But let's get back into it. And Tone has just astounded us that the horse that he's tipped in the Melbourne Cup for the last 22 weeks is not to be tipped.
No. Absolutely, yeah. No, I've gone off it.
Gone off it, yep. Grand Promenade, I love a Mar Eustace horse. Harry Coffey's on fire in Country Vic. You know, he's absolutely riding out of his skin, but geez, Taz, I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah, look, I know this ran in the, put a line through it. It ran last year and I thought it was a chance, but put a line through it. I think it'll be thereabouts, but put a line through it.
Okay.
Can't win.
We move on to 16 and now this is the dream. This is the dream, right? This is the ownership dream. You get into a horse and you're in the Melbourne Cup and you go to the Melbourne Cup as an owner, and that's about as far as this horse will go.
Perfectly said.
You've got tickets into the birdcage. You're going to have a few champagnes because you're a runner in the Melbourne Cup, and there should be other horses in this than this. This wouldn't win a race in fucking, I don't know.
Cessnock.
Cessnock. It might win a race at a Thursday on Grafton, but geez, it's been going pretty bad too. I don't know.
Couldn't have it. Just
Francesco Gardi a few starts back at Randwick over 2,000 metres, but 3,200 is just too far, and they've shown that when they're trying to stretch him out.
Yep.
Put the line through it.
Put a line through it. Number 17. Now I'm really keen on this horse. If you think that you go back to Media Puzzle or you go back to the Geelong Cup form, which has become relevant as a form race into the Melbourne Cup over the last 10 years, because it's that perfect run in, especially for a couple of internationals that haven't got a run in it yet. Misery on a good four. Geelong was a great track that day. This thing let down, had everything go in front. There was speed in the race, and it just had all the space in Geelong on that beautiful big wide track. And come storming home, and then Surefire ran a gallant second. that was right in the market that day. And of course, that comes out and wins the Lexus on Saturday, which franks the form. I think if it's a good track, this horse is, if it gets pace on front, like a Grand Promenade and all them Dark Knight, go to the front and set this up for a couple of swoopers. I tell you what, in the Chautauqua Silks, she might be coming home better than most. So I'm pretty keen. Because at barrier 3, it's just going to sit back, take its medicine, hopefully pop around them and have a chance to run home.
It's an interesting ex-overseas horse as well.
Yes.
It probably came out here earlier to acclimatise, and this has probably been a long-range target. They just haven't had the track conditions to suit. They got them on Geelong.
Oh,
It'll be interesting to see if they get them again. But look, I backed it at Geelong.
Yep, me too.
I need to see a dry track for me to back it again. But I think you're right. I think you're right with everything you've said.
Yep. Pretty keen if it's dry.
If it's dry.
We put a line through it because I got outvoted 3-1. So
yeah, but we also put a line through it because we're not expecting it to be dry.
Yes.
You're looking at future.
Now, talking about horses that have come from nowhere, this horse was a Saturday class horse, probably strong in the Mornington Cup. A couple of years ago as a mare, she'd be running in 78s or 84s. But gee, has she found some form? Luna Flair, Graham Begg, training really well. He's got a good little stable at the moment, Beggy. Mickey D, the jockey of the moment, just won a Caulfield Cup into a derby. Why not go from the Caulfield into the derby into
the Melbourne Cup? I'm pretty keen on this girl. I just think she's a weapon that Graham Begg just didn't realise he had in the stable until they tried to stretch her out. She ran around when she's come back here. She's franked the form in the Bart Cummings. She kept coming in the Moonee Valley Cup, even though the track was against her.
Luna Flair is a back marker and she screams down a straight. Yeah. So Moonee Valley is the worst track in the world, but of course, getting her a bit of fitness, 2,500, bang, straight up into a Melbourne Cup. The old way we used to go to the Gold Cup, the JR Gold Cup, straight to the Melbourne Cup, bang,
She does handle all conditions, and she absolutely
she loves it, softest track. She loves it.
Yep. It's one thing to run home over 2,500. It's another thing to finish off the race over 3,200. So, the jury's out for me.
I don't think the distance will be a problem because at the end of those 2,500 metre races, she still had plenty more to give.
That's what I mean. I'm with you, mate. I think Taz is looking at the wrong form.
I'm with Taz. I don't like it. No.
You don't like it?
But you don't reckon it's going to get 3,200?
I reckon it about this. Go,
I'm
Tony.
with Taz. It's one thing to be, it's powering home. 2,500. There's another 7 to go, mate. Well,
what about she just takes her medicine? They press the button later.
Yeah. Well, she could do that. But
There's another one that will run out the back.
If you were looking at horses that haven't run 2 miles, this would be the last horse you'd think wouldn't run 2 miles.
Let's just see, but I think Luna Flair might have been better to be. I think it's race 2. They got the 2,800 metre race. I think that's where I reckon that's about as far as this will go. But as I said, I'm only some 2-bob bloke on PaLTI.
Who knows?
But, I'm not having this in my first 6.
Why?
Jesus.
Because she'll have a bit of my money. I'm going to tell you that now. She'll have a bit of my money.
That's okay.
Yep, she'll have some of mine too. I just want to say,
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
My money, great jockey, but I'm worried about this.
Great jockey, he's a great jockey. Come on, Tony. He's not a great jockey.
Put your hearing aid back in, mate. I said he's great. I like the jockey. I'm not sure on the distance, even though you guys said it'll run 32. I don't know.
Is Mickey D a great jockey?
He's
in form.
Put your hearing aid back in you. You lost it. I said he's a good jockey.
He said he's a great jockey.
Dumber than a bag of hammers, honestly.
Now, what are we doing with this one, James?
I just think Tone's lost it. You've lost it. I don't think, how could you not think this could run 2 miles?
I'd be including this one in my top 4.
Yeah,
I got
absolutely. Like
that's okay. That's good. I think it's fantastic. I think that
great job.
We've all got opinions, correct?
Yeah, everyone's,
we've all got
everyone's
opinions.
an arsehole. Everyone's got an opinion. That's right.
That's it. And for me, I wouldn't have it in the top 6. For you guys, top 4. That's okay. It probably
can I tell you one more thing about Luna Flair?
Yes.
Francisco Guardi.
Yes. I knew you were going
won
there.
the JR Cup. And if this was in this race, which he was nominated for, a horse, right, that's won the Caulfield Cup and the Derby and won everything everywhere in the whole world, if that was in the race, it would be pushing favoritism for that European $3.60 chance. Francisco Guardi would be the second favourite, if not favourite. And this thing was coming home like at Moonee Valley, a track that it's never won at. And it's got a straight smaller than my little fella. I reckon you guys are mental. Wow.
Mate, but see, you're
living at the straight. She's going to be screaming home around the outside.
Oh,
let's put it. Let's split 50-50.
Can't have it. No.
Let's split 50-50.
I'm with Taz on this one. It's one thing to be coming home over 24, 25. There's another 700 to go. You know, we'll see on Tuesday whether it's, you know.
But what's your point, though, Tone? What's your point? I don't get your point. You come over 2,500, you're not going to come over 3,200. What's your point?
No, you don't get what I'm fucking saying. You're saying it's rattling home and coming over 24, 2,500. Yes, it is, but what about the extra 700 that's got to run? That's what I'm saying.
Well, what about all the other horses in the JR Cup that weren't coming home, Tone?
Right.
So you should back them. Right, they look like they're going to get 2 miles.
I don't.
So you're telling me every horse in the Melbourne Cup's going to get 2 miles?
No, I'm telling you they're not. Half the field won't get the 2 miles because there's no staying races in Australia.
That's right.
Yeah, but I think, Pez, what we're getting at is it's a split decision. You're saying that you believe that this thing will run out 3,200.
Yes.
Perfect. Tone and I think it's questionable.
Okay.
That's all. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
and at the end of it,
I'm saying that I'm worried that it won't.
But how can you be worried it won't? I don't understand. Like everything points that it's going to run 2 miles. Like any tipster worth their salt would say this.
Right, I'm going to ask you something.
Well, I'm not a tipster.
Hang on. I'm going to go back one step then. Berkeley Square, leading up to the Derby, everything pointed to it being able to run out that trip, didn't it?
No, there was still a question mark over.
Thank you, Bardo.
So there's a question mark, was there?
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, the market didn't see no question mark.
No,
because if it did, then it would have been. It wouldn't have been 10. It would have been 10-1, not bloody 4-1.
I had Berkeley Square in my top 3 as well. I wouldn't have had it favourite, but I would have had it in my top 3. And on the weekend, we found out where his ceiling was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe apply the very same principles. To Luna Flair.
But Luna Flair last start ran over 2,500, screaming home. So it looked like it wanted more ground, didn't it?
She hadn't peaked on her run.
And Berkeley Square came over the time.
No, but you guys are saying 3,200. This is 2,500, mate. So
the Melbourne Cup,
if she keeps winding up, and she peaks at around the 29, 300, that's what you want, don't you, big boys?
But you know what?
But you're not listening to what we're saying. So
yes,
move on.
I'm listening, but you idiots.
We're not going to change my mind. They're entitled to it. So let it be.
Pezza,
let's just move on.
Hang on, I just want to say one thing. In order for it to get over 3,200, at what point do you think it needs to wind up?
And all trying to get, but I can't say how you can say this horse maybe won't get 3,200. I think you're insane. You lost it.
Well, everybody's got an opinion, so let's move on.
That's right. And everyone's an arsehole. That's right. Everyone's got an arsehole.
That's right. That's right.
You two are arseholes. And me and Mudder are right.
You were just being a fucking what's name? You're just like a loudspeaker.
Yeah, Tuesday afternoon anyway.
Oh, I just hate stupidity, Tone. I hate stupidity, like people saying stupid things and they don't have nothing to back it up.
Yeah. So number 19's got the jockey.
All right, you're an arsehole too then. You know, you fucking know everything, mate. You see on Tuesday, like, you know.
You fat union.
You know, we're just having an opinion, but you won't let anybody have an opinion because you want to be the big swinger. So, yeah, just you're correct. I'm wrong, but I'm not putting it in my top fucking 6.
But so I'm saying you're wrong. And
yes, yes, you're saying I'm wrong, so I'm wrong.
Yep.
Taz is wrong.
Yep. But you know what? At the end of the day, we'll know who's right or who's wrong when the race is run. So for now, let's just worry about all of us being ourselves, just like opinions, and let's move on. Because I'll tell you what, the best thing is that who would have thought, okay, that 4 blokes would be arguing about fucking lunar flare? I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, Mardo doesn't think the favourite the highest rated horse in a race can't win, and we only spent 2 minutes on talking about it. And here we are,
I love the
about
fact that, you know, I don't know. I think you're just very weird people. And
that's okay.
I very weird.
It's okay. But personally, I think that's okay, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to provide our opinions. And for the ones that value your opinion, they'll stick with it. And that's fantastic. And the ones that might value Tone's or mine, they'll stick with us.
But can I ask a question to Tony? Can I ask a question to the Enigma?
Yeah.
You're the Enigma.
So, did you see the last run of Lunar Flare?
I did. I watched the replays.
Right.
But I'm just concerned about the extra distance, mate. Yeah, I know it was travelling really well, but it's still, you know, on the day.
Smoke and Romans, what do we think? Jamie Castix?
Oh, I think Smoke and Romans is a smoky.
Oh.
Ironically with the name. Unfortunately, it's Jamie Carr on, but I think
you still hate it, don't you?
I don't hate her. I'm just saying she's not in form. She had to cheat in 2 races in Sydney to win, and she got suspension served for both of them by overriding the rule. You just can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
as an owner,
let's go on about Jamie Carr.
Geez, I tell you what, she did well with Katali.
I'm not saying she's a bad jockey. I'm just saying she's a bit out of form at the moment. Okay.
So she rode 2 winners, and she's out of form.
Suspension for both of them.
But riding 2 winners.
Yep.
She's lost.
Oh dear. She whiz. Pezza, help me here, please.
Now you're back in my side now.
Yeah, I've jumped the fence. Help me.
Please come back. It's insanity on the other side.
I like Smoke and Romans. I think he's going to see the distance out here for sure. Yeah, definitely handles wet and dry. Barrier 16 is not such a bad barrier for him.
It's form of its life.
Jamie Carr, honestly, is just a sit and steer with this horse. It's just whether the horse is good enough, and I think he is a smoky.
I agree with that.
I don't think it's going to get the 32.
You don't?
Nah.
Why don't you think it's going to get the 32?
It didn't get the 24, did it?
Well, hang on a tick. It got held up. There was trouble.
Oh.
We never got to really see whether it got to got the opportunity to see it out.
But how did it win its last 2 starts before that?
By being at the front of the pack.
That's right. And then it let go. And then in 2400, they couldn't do that because I don't think he could get 2 miles.
Jamie Carr took the ride. That's what she did. She ran him into trouble. She gave him no chance at all.
Just put him up
Ethan Brown 2 starts, and they put Jamie Carr back on him, and she rides him into trouble, and he's got no way of getting out of it, and there was no way of going to win from the position.
And as an owner, what would you do when a jockey butchers your horse? Would you put him on again?
I wouldn't personally, no.
No, but these owners obviously didn't think that she butchered it because they're stuck with her. Right. So interesting. But anyway, but we do agree, mate. I think it's a smoky chance too. We do agree.
Smoky, the horse is good enough to be thereabouts.
Yeah.
Me and Mardo, we love Simon Wild, especially if it's at Warrnambool.
Definitely. Unfortunately, this one
Yenna's been riding really well too. Don't we worry about that? But she's just not coming.
No. Charlie Rose, she was a better chance there a couple of years ago, but she hasn't had a good prep. She's just not ready for it.
I love a Lloyd Williams horse, but Point in the Pan's running as good as me and Tony at the moment, so I don't think it's no good. But Taz has got another idea.
I just like the colours. I just think that it's been set up for this race, and I think that it's a smoky. But like if you gave me $100 and said, where would you put it? Point in the Pan wouldn't be the first one I'd put it on.
I'd like to know who Wayne Lorden is.
Yeah, he's only just flown in. So he's another overseas jock.
Yeah.
And I think I put it on my notes here as well, trying to ask who is he. But
Tone is no.
Don't know him. I don't know this guy at all.
I don't know this one.
You know,
Really?
Marto?
No,
Yeah,
no,
'cause-
it's not a name that stands out to me.
He was flying in because I've written on my notes. Don't know much about Wayne Lorden, the jockey, but he's here for the ride. Back trainer, owner Lloyd Williams.
Yep.
I don't know, and he loves big races. But yeah, I've got the paper, but I haven't seen anything.
It's not running really good. I don't think Lloyd hasn't running that bad into a Melbourne Cup. So
no,
Look,
but he just wants to be there, doesn't he?
To get there.
yeah, High Emotion, one of my favourite horses, grows a leg in the wet. Won in Warrnambool one start around over the 2000 at Warrnambool, like it was going to run, a fucking marathon. It was just amazing the amount of letdown speed this thing happens in the wet. Been in form of its life. Bendigo Cup, it was really strong at the end of the race. I think it'll love a wet track, and if it's going to be wet, you've got to have a couple of bucks each way on High Emotion.
He's got a few Marus. So do you reckon it's his best chance? Which one do you think is his best chance?
I think this is his best chance if it rains, if it's wet, for sure.
Really wet? Yes.
Because it takes its medicine, it sits at the back, it's a swooper. If there's speed on, he'll be steaming home because he grows a leg in the wet. And
ahead of Gold Trip?
Hey?
And ahead of Gold Trip? Because that's one of theirs as well.
If it's really wet, like really wet.
That's a 7 kilo weight swing.
If it's really wet.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think we're a bit split on that one as well.
Yeah.
Interpretation, I just don't think it was going good. If you're going to look at Geelong Cup form, I thought this was really ordinary, to tell you the truth. Had the run of the race, had the race to itself, and just didn't let down at all. I don't think it's going to get the 2 miles, to tell you the truth.
Agree.
Yeah,
I think it's it hasn't had the form. It hasn't done it. Yeah, put a line through it.
It's got
agree.
800. Well, like I'm looking at my notes and looking at this bloody sports bet notes. I think they've copied my notes. It's got form up to 20 years, but it wasn't a strong field, and it hasn't done enough out here to interest me.
No. Those Hitotsu colours are awesome, and they're always winning, so you never know. And of course, Ralma Flowers, the dirty little sneaker inner. She was supposed to run in the Lexus on Saturday, which I think they call it another name now. It's not called it's called the Lexus something now. But anyway, she was scratched because she got a run. She got into the Melbourne Cup. She didn't have to run on Saturday, so she's cherry right. Not sure about Damien Thornton and the Melbourne Cup. You never know. Mickey D's.
It's interesting. It is interesting with Damien Thornton, but this horse has placed in the Sydney Cup. Its run in the Metrop this year was good. It does handle the wet. It seems to put forward its best foot when it starts to get over distance. Surprisingly, this is my pick, and I've got a little boost at about 20 to 1, I think it is, because I took it with Speak to Sam. I took it into Realm of Flowers at 14 to 1. So I think it's a really good chance. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Squirter, because I doubled it into this one. So
you got $1.80 in a trotter into this, so well done, mate.
No, it's actually I didn't even get $1.80. I got $1.60.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't on early enough.
Okay, so we think it's a chance. Now, oh no, we're not going to do all this, are we? Anyway, I'm going to put this on the
page.
Yes.
On page.
Yes. So we've basically we put a line through it, or we put a line and a circle, or we put a circle, and basically, if we get to the numbers that we sort of like, if you want to put a box trifecta, if it'll let me close this and play that. We've actually circled 1, 4, 12, 18, and 24, and there's a few that are mixed. So nobody knows. They're the numbers that we all seem to agree on that have got a chance to win. But if it's wet, I'm not sure because I live in Japan. I really like Gold Trip. If it's really, 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 really wet, I'll have something on High Emotion. And of course, Luna Flair loves a soft track. If it's dry, if they don't get the weather they're expected, because it is Melbourne, remember, I'm going to go a Misery 17 will absolutely be steaming down like Chautauqua, the big grey flash, if it gets out. And I think it will because it's drawn in. So it'll pop around in the corner and hopefully it'll be a surprise baby and, well, not a surprise baby because it didn't win. Tone, you pretty keen on the 6 and the 1?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with those. I'm happy with Without a Fight, Gold Trip. They're keen. I'm keen on the price, and I think they're both good value. Looking at $11 for Without a Fight, and Gold Trip's around about $15, I think.
Perfect.
Happy.
Tassie's on the 24.
Yeah, I'm on Realm of Flowers. I think that it just looks the one that's going to run out the trip, handle the wet conditions, probably get a nice cozy ride there as well.
Do you think it's progressive? Do you think it's progressive? Do you think it's...
I do. I think it is on the up. I do. The other one, of course, is the 11 Young Werther. Yeah. I was always a fan from Derby Day, even though when it was placed, and it's just my knockout chance.
Well, what about if Totsu was still around? Like if he wasn't injured? You know,
yeah, I know that.
I reckon we got a real race with the Invaders.
Probably. But you know what? It's my Stephen Bradbury of this Melbourne Cup.
Marto, you keen on 2019? You want to turn back time like shit?
I think Bowen de Clare has refound his 2019 form.
Yep.
I'm hoping he's good enough to win. Look, he ran what was it? It was a third behind High Emotion, about 2 lengths on the soft Flemington 3 runs back. The number of the race eludes me, sorry. The Caulfield Cup was a race and not run to where they had the sit and sprint type thing that they do in Victoria. But he did stay on for to run 6th. And we do know that he's got that high cruising speed that he can take into the Melbourne Cup. Barrier 4 is almost perfect for him because he gets that midfield run, just sitting behind the pace in the midfield bunch, and then picks them off as they come down the straight. Probably 600 from home when the lesser quality horses start running out of gas.
The whips are cracking.
And he's going to be picking up coming home. And Luna Flare, again, we've mentioned the reasons why we like Luna Flare, and I just can't leave her out.
Don't mention the war. Don't mention the war.
No.
As you said, it's the Melbourne Cup. Anything can win. You never know. And we put a line through very elegant last year, didn't we, boys? But Taz got the trifecta because he threw it in.
So. I did. And you know what could happen this year? With all this screaming and shouting and opinions and arseholes, just imagine if Luna Flare does run a drum and I've snuck it in because you guys have talked me into it. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine me being a little sneaky again?
And Tony be left isolated. You know what Tone's favourite song is? It's from John Lennon. It's called Isolation because that's what he will be next week when Luna Flare comes out and looks like it's going to run fucking 38,000.
Oh yeah, well, of course it's going to win. I'm going to put all my money on Luna Flare because it's going to win. I'll put all my money on there now.
Oh no, but you watched the replay, so mate, who won the race? Who beat Luna Flare at the start, Tony? Tony, who was the winner? In the JR Cup, you'd know because you watched the race. So you won it.
Well, you're the professional, so we have to listen to you. So
But you watched the race, you should know the winner.
You watch the.
Not letting him on, Pezza. Francesco Gatti.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, Pezza.
Yes.
Sydney always try to outdo Melbourne, and they're even trying on a Melbourne Cup. I mean, seriously, they're like that little brother that just wants to be better than Big Brother. I wish they bloody stopped. So you know what they've got? They've got 2 races up there called the Big Dance and the Little Dance.
Yep.
Why don't they just call them the Country Bumpkin Specials or something?
I tell you what.
What do you reckon?
The VRC's got tradition, and that's it. And Sydney have got marketing and they've got momentum.
Yeah, they have.
And I tell you what, I reckon with all the young people nowadays connected to all their bullshit and their device and their apps, we might have tradition in Melbourne, mate, but to tell you what, there'll be a lot of people come to Victoria going up to watch the Everest and the Golden Chief and the Big Dance and the Little Dance. And I tell you what, you looked at Caulfield Cup compared to Rose Hill last week. Holy Flemington Derby Day compared to 50-odd thousand at Rose Hill. It was mental. Like, No.
Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves, though. There's the Melbourne Cup tradition, and Sydney's just
no,
trying
of course it is. Of course it is.
They've got to have a big day on the same day, and this is what they've done to compete.
I guess the reason I lead in with it, though, Marto, is because I know that one of Pez's mates and Barney's mates owns actually a runner that is in the big dance, and I remember it winning the race to qualify. So, Pez, tell us about it.
Casino Kid, one of our mates, Circus, really rich mate. He's got an owner in it, and they're really, really keen. It's around $13. Get on. Pez has got Casino Kid, number 7, C-back, and actually William Pike for Waller in quality time had 3 future bets. So I tell you what, if number 7, 8, or 14 win, I'm going to be a pretty happy man because I'm in quality time at around 200 skins.
I'll tell you why quality time didn't win last week at Rose Hill. He's got hoof fillers in and running on a good track. So this week it's on a soft track likely, so it could get a better run. For me, for the big dance, I actually like Rustic Steel myself. It's a while and runs well over Randwick. So good draw. Actually, Rawiller on front.
I'm going to have a saver on Rustic for sure.
There you go.
What about yourself, Tone? Have you found one for the big dance?
Oh, I just had a quick look. Wicklow, number 13.
Wicklow.
I bet have a
interesting
as well.
And tell us about it. Tone, keep going. Sorry,
I have to look it up. I haven't got it on my phone.
That's okay. That's fine because we're probably running out of time. I have gone with one of I think it's a Pez's previous horse, and it's Elias. I think you backed this before, Pezza.
Yeah, no, I've got money on that as well. Sorry. Shit.
And I tell you the reason I really like it, because many shows back, we said that Waller was trying to get Ormond to come down to ride for him in Sydney.
That's right. Yeah.
And guess what? Waller, Ormond finally team up.
Elias,
So that's the one I've got, and I think it handles a bit of a rain-affected track. So
20
it's 20
skins.
skins.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, so
in the cool marketing, you're a country trainer in New South Wales and you're running around for $1 million for the winner. That's not second. That's not third. That's $1 million getting these stables. Like that's that's life-changing money for some of these country trainers. That's
they'd name their facilities after that horse. If you win, well, I don't know. So if some trainer wins this from nowhere, I mean, effectively that horse becomes the name of his stables.
Yep. So it's an amazing innovation. I love it. I reckon
it is.
Absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Melbourne Cup, we're all divided. Everyone's got an opinion, as Tone says. We're all arseholes. So
we've all got different.
The race is Soft Nation. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to Barney and the boys, the twins and Harms and all them up at the Barrier Reef up in Cairns. I wish I was there because Barney's even got the Wednesday off, the big dog. So he's ready for a big one. He's got 500 skins in the pocket as well. He's got some ammo from the weekend. So well done to Bardo. And well done to Tassie with Morty. I think he had 20 each way on Morty too. So
nice
boys, it's been a pleasure. It's a long show. Hopefully you all get through it. If you did, you need a medal. Welcome to the newbies. Tone, final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Yeah, I hope everybody has a great day and gets a winner up, and hope that our information has given them something to think about, or put a line through, or circle, whatever. You know.
And just I was saying about the start of the show with the poor kids in Korea, have a bit of periphery on Tuesday if you're going out and about. Just sort of make sure your peripheral vision's working, and if something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't. So take a look around your environment and have a good time, but keep the periphery open. Tassie, any final thoughts?
No, my last words are enjoy the day, party like there is no tomorrow.
Yes,
but remember there is.
That's right. And Lunar Flare, Marto.
He's on. I'm poison everybody.
Actually, when Tone and Taz are so against it, it sort of makes me more.
You want to back it just out of spite, doesn't it?
Increases the bet size, I think.
We're probably about 50-50 on the half and halves with Taz and Mardo, and Mardo and I, Taz and I, you and Mardo, you and Taz. We're probably about 50.
No, I think Tazzie's come over to the right side. He's come over to the dark side again. He's left you alone.
Mate, You know what I am? I'm on my backside right now. That's all I'm on.
Good luck, Teddy. Thanks, mate, for being awake at 1 o'clock in the morning to do this. Thanks, Marto, for coming over to work after a long day at the Cass.
Yep.
And good on you, Tony. You just never know what's going to happen in the Melbourne Cup. Will they get it or will they won't? We'll find out at around 3 o'clock. Melbourne time.
We will. Yeah. We'll be having a beer by then, hopefully.
All right. See you, boys. Thanks.
All right.